Record. Just before we start, I just wanted to highlight that I want everyone to participate in this workshop because it is a workshop at the end of the day. So please try and interact. I will be calling out people as well if I feel like no one is volunteering themselves. So please, it will be really great for everyone to interact with the session and get involved basically. So, welcome everyone. My name is Victoria Lewis, and I am a life coach, and I'm also the program manager of CTV Foundation. And it is the foundation that is basically ultimately, sorry, I have a bit of a recording, so I'm trying to manage both aspects, but it's basically the foundation that is ultimately sponsoring this workshop. And with the workshop, it tends to always come at a price, but obviously today it is free, and I'm very glad for everyone that is coming into the session. And yeah, it's going to be fun. So I guess we can get started. I'm just going to remove this panel because I don't know if everyone can see the panel. Um, So, what is today about? So, today is called the Discovering Your Purpose and Goal Setting Workshop. We are going to do a lot of interactive things and games and activities to try and just get engaged. Um, just before we start, we do have a book. I hope everyone can see this book. It's the wellness book. It's called a wellness journal, and it is the CTV Foundation wellness journal. And this is what I'm going to be using today to basically write down all my notes. So if anyone wants to purchase this journal, it is £10. And if you want us to send it via delivery, it's £2 delivery charge. It's a really fantastic journal. It has a bit where you can basically note how you're feeling. It also has like step-by-step goals. It has dates. It asks you how you're feeling, and it has like a tracker as well. So to start us off, since we're basically talking about how everyone is feeling, it will be great to know how everyone is feeling today. So, Loretta, who did our previous presentation, came up with this idea, and I really, really think it's a fantastic idea. So can everyone please put in the chat how they're feeling, put an emoji to show how they're feeling. So if you're sad, you can put in a sad emoji because I want to see that everyone is, interacting and participating. I'm still not seeing any emojis coming up.
No, no.
Okay, I'm seeing an emoji. I can see Dapper has a laughing face or a smiley face. I'm not quite sure. Lola has a smiley face. Okay. Any more emojis? I know that there's about 20 people on this chat. So if we can have some more. Ooh, Basaya is having a little bit of a full face. Loretta is having a cheerful face. I would like to see. Princess is having I think this is like an angelic face, like I'm at peace. So that's good. It seems like a lot of us are definitely feeling good, positive, and happy. And I think if you are in the UK, it probably is because of the sun. Because I know that I'm feeling really good because of the sun right now. We barely hardly get sun. So, oh, we got Ade Remy who's put, I am feeling awesome. That is great. We love to hear that. And I think that is how we need to feel for this discovering your purpose and goal setting, because goal setting and discovering your purpose is all about striving and action planning and feeling excited and trying to push forward by setting your goals. So let's get started. So the agenda for today will be what is your purpose? So what is the meaning of purpose? Why do we like what does it do for us basically? And then it will be discovering your purpose. And then we also have what's this? Hmm. Um, we also have goal setting. And we're going to use the SMART goals. And I think most of us are very aware. Let's remove this. Most of us
Yeah.
are very aware of the SMART goals. I don't know. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to figure out how to remove this paint thing that is here.
It's a lot.
Sorry, can I please ask that everyone put themselves on mute? Please, thank you. I can't find how to erase the thing on the screen, but please ignore that. And then we're going to talk about aligning purpose with goals and action planning. So we're going to have a little icebreaker. Oh, we've got some more people. So Shade Babs, I'm feeling tired. Just came back from a long trip. Well, hopefully this will make you feel a bit more motivated and a bit more, better and more excited once we're done. So, icebreaker, in one word, what drives you to get out of bed in the morning? So, can I have some people, put something in the chat, or if you can talk and interact, that would be great. What makes you Lola put money. Oh wow, we got a lot of money today. Money, money, money. Okay, seems like everyone is feeling to have a bit more money. Anybody else? What else makes you? Oh, we got Sade. Okay, money seems to be the main driver. Anyone else have any other reason to get up in the morning, or what makes you get up in the morning? Good weather. Loretta said good weather. I know Loretta is currently on holiday right now, and I can best believe that you're having a good time. So, yes. Olajude said be responsible. Ooh, would you care to elaborate? Oh, Loretta said purpose. Okay. Olajude, do you want to elaborate in terms of what you mean by be responsible? How does that make you get out of bed in the morning? Aderemi said, good weather. Yes, definitely. Loretta said commitment and responsibilities. Yes, yes. This is all good reasons to get out of bed this in the morning.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Yeah.
We can hear you.
Sorry, I'm outside, but I can still just say something.
Hmm.
I mean, to be responsible means that I've got so many responsibilities. My family have to be taking care of. I have to be taking care of, so many other things that I need to do. So when I look at that, I don't just want to stay in bed, but rather to go out and do something.
Yeah. So yeah, that makes sense. So in terms of knowing that you have a family, you have to be responsible and you need to get up. So yeah. So basically, I would say that your purpose is your family. Like what makes you get out of bed in the morning is knowing that you have to be responsible for your family. So yeah, that's a very good one. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to record on Instagram and it's giving me a bit of a hard time. So just bear with me one moment. How do we do this? I saw another creator talking about that you. Okay, I don't know if we'll be able to record this session on Instagram. Oh, there we go, live. There we go. Okay, sorry guys, I just want to make sure that everyone has access to this information. So I will be doing a live as well on Instagram. So, okay, so there's a lot of great points in the chats. Oh, we've got a bit more. We've got Shade's got contributing positively into the people's lives. That's a really good one. Loretta's got commitment and responsibility. Physical health. Loretta's coming with all the gems. Princess Olu H has peace of mind and seeing joyful people around me. Lack of commitment. Okay. So that seems like, so that seems very good. Very, very good. Lack of comfort. Okay. Great. Okay. Next, we're gonna do is what is purpose and the definition. So the definition of purpose is inner sense of direction and meaning, is the reason for which something is done or created. So what fulfills you basically? That's what purpose is all about. Like what brings you fulfillment and creates something. It's almost like a burst of creation, if that makes sense. So examples of purpose is personal growth, helping others, career fulfillment. So it's kind of what drives you. And this is why I did the previous icebreaker, is what drives you to get out of bed in the morning. It's what motivates you to work hard. So that is what purpose is basically all about. And the common myths when it comes to purpose is you must find your purpose early or purpose evolves over time. So you don't have to find your purpose early. You can find it later on in life. And once again, your purpose can change all the time. So that's why, for example, I'll give you an example for me. So one of my core values, is helping people. That's one thing I've always done and I always believe in, and that's like one of my core values. So I've had multiple different business ideas, multiple different business ventures. And I think a lot of people in this group chat has seen all my ventures. You know, I had a hair oil company. I work in the pharmaceutical industry. I used to do tuition. I used to be a mentor. And the one thing that all of those have in common is helping people. So when I had my hair oil company, what motivated me is I noticed that, oh my gosh, there's a lot of people who are down, maybe because they have alopecia or maybe their hair's not growing, or, you know, lots of people want to be confident. And one thing I've realized is, you know, if you're lacking something physically, you won't be confident necessarily. So I decided to create a hair oil company called Coco Organic. Now, if you think about it, every single thing I'm doing now, I'm obviously a part of a charity and I'm also a life coach at this current moment. Everything that I do all has one link, which is helping people. So that's why, even though you might have different ideas or you might decide to go for different sort of things or do different things, as long as your core value remains the same, then it is fine. Your purpose is still the same, you know? So you shouldn't feel any type of way if you decide to go and do different things. It doesn't necessarily mean that your main purpose has left you or it's gone, or it means that, oh, you're not serious. There's different reasons why people, as they get older, they change what they want to do or they change their purpose. So that's just one thing I wanted to say. And purpose evolves over time. Um, yeah, I think, you know, you can ultimately decide to you might end up finding your purpose at 40 or 50 or 60. It doesn't matter. But I think here why it's a myth is because um you can find your purpose at any point and at any time. And I think this is why we're going to have this workshop, because the whole point of the workshop is for you to start thinking and trying to discover what is your purpose, if that makes sense. So I'll move to the next slide. So why purpose matters. So purpose, like I've said already, it motivates you. It gets you up in the mornings. It also results in a form of action and it also then results in fulfillment. So for me being able to do this presentation and hopefully impacting everybody is going to bring me fulfillment, because I feel like, okay, I've given people some tips and some ways in which they can find their purpose, because it's not every single person that in this world that wakes up and starts thinking, okay, I know exactly what I want to do. sometimes it takes thinking, sometimes it takes trying, and sometimes it takes, talking to people, and we'll get into that as we go on in the slides. And then another reason is it gives life direction and helps with decision making. And I think this is a very key aspect because I think when people don't really know why they're in this world, which is basically ultimately another way of phrasing why we have purpose, some people may not necessarily find joy in anything. And this can lead to depression and stress. And, this is what CTV Foundation is all about. We're here to help you so that you can have the tools that you need to help with mental health. So, having a purpose, having a reason to wake up in the morning, having a reason to go on as life goes on is very important because that's what's going to keep you grounded. That's what's going to keep you excited. And one thing about purpose as well is it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be always excited about something. But what I find is when people love or cherish something, they are more excited to do it. That's why a lot of people who have businesses tend to um be a bit more excited, even though they're having to work 24 hours a day, they tend to be more excited and vibrant to work than those who may not necessarily enjoy working. So it just depends who you are as a person as well. Okay. Purpose discovery questions. So what I want you to do is, I did say everyone should have a notepad. So I hope you have a notepad. If not, definitely purchase this. But if you have a pen and a paper, I would like everyone to do this activity. So what do I love doing? So I feel like everyone loves doing something. For me, like I said, I love talking. That's one thing I love to do, hence why I can talk for days. So that could be something that you love. So what do you love doing? I want you to write it down on a piece of paper. And then I also want you to then look at what am I good at? So what is it that you are good at? What do you think you're good at? So for example, when I know something, I think I'm good at presentations. So if I have the information, I know how to present. That's something that I would like to say that I'm good at. So what are you good at? So already I've mentioned talking, I've mentioned presenting. So you see, we're already building that foundation of understanding what someone's purpose is. Another one is, what do people thank me for? So when you are with your friends, your family, what do your friends and family thank you for? So, once again, I would like you to write something down. And what breaks my heart? So what is it that breaks your heart? So for me, what breaks my heart is people that have no, that have no support, moral support, that feel alone, people that they're just struggling in life. That makes me sad. So let's look at that. And then last question is, what do I do if I couldn't fail? So what would you be doing as a person right now as we're speaking if you couldn't fail? So I'm going to give everyone 5 minutes to write something down, and then we are going to go and have some people. I'm gonna ask some people and volunteer some people, or people can volunteer themselves to give me some of these answers. So I'll give everyone 5 minutes, and then we can commence. Just because I don't want too much silence, I think I'll make it 2 minutes. So actually, it would be good for some people to actually give me some of their feedback. So if you already know what you love, can you please either speak up or put it in the chat so I can read it out. So, what do you love as a person? What do you love as an individual? Happy for anyone to put it in the chat or okay, Lola said eating good food. Oh, Dapo said football. Okay. Basaya said helping and serving others. Love that. Any others? Okay, I'm gonna start
Mentoring, teaching,
mentoring, teaching.
counseling,
Oh, okay.
and giving back to the society.
Okay, perfect. I don't know who's speaking. Sorry, who is that? I couldn't catch the person.
Folashade Babatunde.
Oh, Auntie, hello. Great. We have Princess Olu H driving the charity. Okay, that's great. We've got Loretta makeup, dancing, nice restaurants, lovely. Oh, we've got someone that said pray. Oh, Princess said praise and worship. Lola said netball, definitely with you on that. All of it has got some more. All mental health, yes. Aderemi said, I love teaching and helping people. Great. Busayo said traveling and exercise. Loretta said exercise and traveling, yes. So we've got a mixture of different things that people love. Okay, so the next one question would be, what am I good at? So we've already established what you love doing. Can we link that to what you are good at? So can we have some, okay, Dapo said football. Loretta said encouraging others. Bosaya also said encouraging and motivating others. We like to see. Great. Comforting others, bringing the best out of them. Great. Loretta said learning new things. Okay, we like to see that. Lola said anything creative. Pep talks. Yes. Loretta said debates. Okay. We've got a lot of people. So I'm going to start calling out some more people so that we can hear from them. Hannah, um, what do you like to do? What do you like? Christiana, what are you good at? Please let me know. Oh, we got Loretta saying hearing different perspective. Auntie Shade saying encouraging others, helping people, being open-minded. So to be honest, what I love about everyone that is in this chat is that it seems that everyone is in the same path in terms of helping people, being productive, being open-minded, being creative. And I feel like there's a whole sense of community and helping people. So this is really good. I really want to hear from either Christiana or Hannah. I haven't seen anything from you, so it'll be good to have something back from you. And we have Lanre as well in the chat. Lanre, is there anything that you can come up with? Haven't heard anything from you either. Okay, maybe everyone's quite busy. You can put it in the chat if you can't speak.
No, unless you call me.
Okay, no worries. I'm gonna move on so that we can yeah go to the next part. Oh, Olufemi said sketching. Yes, love that. Okay, so what do people thank me for? So what do people thank you for? So can we have some options? Can we have some okay, Basaya said being supportive. Love that. So Basaya, can you already see there's a whole picture that we're painting already about what you would, find good doing? Because a lot of the things you've mentioned so far is about being supportive, helping people. So already you're already creating something, and we can already see what your purpose is looking like from these questions. Loretta, consistency. Yes. Yes, that is definitely right. Yeah, so once again, we can create from all what you've said, we can start creating, finding your purpose from those things that you've mentioned. Besides said showing up for people. Oh yeah, I can vouch for that, definitely. Being a listening ear, yes. I definitely agree, Bisaya, definitely. Adememi said people thank me for my warmth. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, so we have a lot of positive um comments here. So this is really, really good. Okay, so then what is the next one is what breaks my heart? So what breaks people's hearts? So, oh, we have Auntie Shade has put persistency, standing by them in times of need. Lola put injustice. Okay, so that's what breaks your heart. And to be honest, I definitely agree with that, Lola. Me and Lola, we have a personal relationship, and I can tell you, she does not like unfair treatment. And Loretta too. Busia said, when people are in need and I am not able to help, yes, honestly, it's really sad. And I think this is why we're doing what we're doing. This is why we have the charities to try and get to people who we can't help. So, yeah, that's lovely. Okay, and I'm going to move to the next part, which is inaccessibility. Yes. This is a very good one because this is once again why we are doing CTV Foundation. We want to give people access to tools and things that they need without having to fund it because a lot of people don't have money. So that is why we're doing what we're doing. So that is a really good one. So we want people to have access. And, we do find that some people in different countries don't have access to like water, or like, things that you would feel, or education, for example. So that's a really good one. Aderemi put, what breaks my heart is people lying about me. That's a really good one as well. Because especially when you're an honest person and you're dealing with people that say false accusations against you, it's not the nicest. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next one. What would I do if I couldn't fail? So, what would you do if you couldn't fail? So, another way of rephrasing this is if you didn't have to think about money and you had all the money in the world, what would you do rather than what you're doing now? What would you do? So, can I have some not appreciative? Oh, okay. Okay, that's a good one. So, we're now in the next one. So besides said, I don't understand questions. So the question is, if you had, so basically it says, what would I do if I couldn't fail? So I'm gonna reword it. What I'm trying to say is, what would you do if you had all the money in the world and you didn't have to worry about money? What would you do? Like, would you be like a volunteer? What would you do? Yeah, yeah, exactly. So what would you do if success was guaranteed? That's another way of phrasing it. Thank you, Loretta. So I'm not seeing anyone options. Can people give options? Lola said design a safe haven for those fortunate. Fortunate. Yes, that's a good one. Less fortunate. Auntie Shade said giving back to the society. Besides said being more charitable and reach our community. Loretta said make a difference. Would you like to expand? Oh, helping others. Okay. I will establish, Princess Olu said, I will establish a company for needies to work and earn their living. That's a very good one. Aderemi said, I will help the less privileged people. So that's a good one as well. Okay. So this and then Lorette said, create an organization that empowers others. Love it. This is what we love to do. So this is basically a tool for you to kind of use these to help you establish what you enjoy doing. There's a lot of themes going on, and what I can say that I feel the energy in this room is a lot of people want to help others. So that could be your purpose. You know, there's some people that they are good at helping. There's some people that are good leaders. There's some people that, you know, it depends on what you're good at and how you can now bring that into life. And that's what the whole purpose, the whole finding a purpose is all about. Finding what you're good at and how you can utilize your talents to then accomplish something bigger than you and create something bigger than you. So I hope that's helped everyone. Okay, so let's move to the next part. Oops, what's going on? Okay, let's try again. Right. So this is called the reflection activity, my purpose map. Obviously, because of the time, we won't really be doing this today, but ultimately, this is the cycle that we're trying to build. And what I want you to do is take this away so that you can do it in your own time. Ultimately, what we're going to start with is what I love to do, what I love, what I'm good at, and we've already done that, what the world needs. So, what are the world's needs? What brings me joy? So, what brings you joy? And my core values. And this brings back to what I was saying earlier, during the presentation. I said your core values will never, it can maybe possibly change, but it rarely ever changes. So, looking at your inside and thinking, what are my core values? Like some people, is their religion, is their beliefs, is their belief system? And to be honest, we're going to be having a presentation, another workshop on limited beliefs, but I will leave that for another time. But what are your core values? What makes you what do you believe in? What do you strive to do? And then write a purpose statement. So that is what that will help you identify what your purpose would be. So what I love doing, I love helping people. What am I good at? I'm good at presentations and motivating people. What does the world need? The world needs people to help motivate people so that people stop committing suicide or having suicidal attempts. And some people, they just need a push in the right direction. So that's another example. And then what brings me joy? Seeing people accomplish, seeing people happy, seeing people, happy doing what they're doing. And then what are my core values? Once again, making sure people are good, helping people, supporting people. And that is what the mission statement is. So from that mission statement, I've realized that, oh, maybe becoming a life coach would be great because I want to motivate people. I want to make people feel better about themselves. I want to give people a sense of direction. I want to help people figure out what their purpose is. And I want to help people grow and elevate to the best of their ability. So that's what I would like for you to take back and to try and do, because I think it's very important for us to all take some time to evaluate who we are and what we're really good at, and so that we can push forward and make, better decisions in the future. So next slide, I'm just checking the time. So transition purpose to goals. So once we've established our purpose, the next thing is to look at how do we create goals, because the thing is we could have an idea, but we need to turn it into goals. We need to be able to birth the idea, if that makes sense. We need to be able to action the idea. So how do we do that? And that's what we're going to talk about next. So I know that a lot of people work in the UK you probably know about this statement, which is called the SMART goals. So SMART goals is all about specific. So making goals that are specific. So let me think of a goal that is specific. So for example, I want to lose 10 kg, okay? Because I've gained a lot of weight. I want to lose 10 kg. Okay, so that's specific. There's no blabbing, there's no And then measurable. How am I going to measure what I'm planning to do? So I want to lose 10 kg. The way I can measure this is by losing 2 kg per week. So I've got a goal to lose a total of 10 kg, and I want to do that in, let me just say, I don't know, 2 months. There's 8 weeks in 2 months. So I need to lose approximately, my maths is not mathsing, but you get what I mean. Let's just say I need to lose 1.5 kg per week. Okay, so that's the measurable part. That's how I'm going to measure myself. And then we look at achievable. Is that an achievable goal? Is it achievable to lose 1.5 kg per week? To be honest, it really is. Especially if I change my diet, if I, work out, etc. So cool, that's an achievable goal. Then we look at relevant. Is it relevant? So is losing 10 kg irrelevant? Is that relevant? Is that going to be relevant to what I want to do? Like, is losing 1.5 kg per week relevant? Yes, it is. And how am I going to do that? Like I said, I'm going to do step-by-step goals and small chunks of goals in enabling me to do that. So, for example, cutting down the takeaways, I definitely need to do that. Cooking more, that's going to be something. But once again, if I'm going to be cooking more, I need it to be realistic, right? I need it to be relevant. So right now, let's just say I have takeout two times a week. I want to introduce cooking more. So I'm going to start with maybe cooking more twice a week rather than having takeaways twice a week. So it's about making steps, small steps, and then time bound. So the time bound is, I've mentioned, I want to lose 10 kg within 2 months. That is the time bound. And then example. So for example, this is a perfect example. I will run 3 times a week for 30 minutes to improve my health. So we've established that they're gonna run 3 times a week. We've established how long they're gonna run for, which is 30 minutes. And why are we doing it? To improve health. So these are the sort of smart goals that we need to start creating. So if, for example, I don't know, I want to be I don't know, I'm trying to think of something I want to do. Let's say I just want to be a content creator. I'm not trying to be a content creator, but let's say I was. I need to have a plan of how many posts that I need to do, how many times a week I need to do the post, what type of post will get attention, and how to go about posting. So I need to have a whole set plan of what I'm planning to do. And then on top of it, what content am I going to post? So these are the things that we need to start looking at when we're looking at SMART goals. Does anyone have any questions regarding SMART goals or would like to add to this points?
Hey everyone, I do have a bit of a sore throat. I do apologize. I just wanted to ask, let's say for example, when you give the example of with the exercise, wanting to lose weight, what about if you face one hurdle, like for example, your aim is to lose 1.5 kg and you're not able to do that? How are you able to kind of overcome that hurdle? Because I think for me, it's just once I've hit a stumbling block, I'm like, you know what?
I'm done.
Okay. So, so for me, it's just like, how can I work on it so at least I can still be motivated to actually lose weight? So I think that's the question I wanted to ask in terms of adapting that to my lifestyle or just in any area of life in general.
So what I always say is, with life, you have to focus on the small wins first. So let's say you have set yourself a goal where it's 1.5, and let's say you haven't lost anything that week. That's still an achievement and an accomplishment because at the end of the day, you haven't gained, okay? If you gained, it's a whole nother thing, but you've kept the weight off. So that means something that you're doing is working. Now, everyone is different when it comes to, so I'm just giving this as using your example. Everyone is different when it comes to weight loss, okay? One thing that works for one person does not necessarily work for the other. So in that situation, when you get to that hurdle, you need to reevaluate your goals and think, okay, right, I'm only losing 0.5 kg per week, okay? And I'm doing this, and this. What is it that I can do differently to not gain, to lose more weight? What parts can I, like, what can I do differently? Because clearly what I'm doing currently is not working. So you need to think about, okay, I first of all, be grateful for the fact that you've lost weight, or be grateful for the fact that you stay the same, because I'm telling you now, with weight loss, it's it's hard. And then look at alternative ways in which you can help yourself or boost yourself up to lose more weight. Another thing about weight loss is it's not a one-day fix. I remember there was a time when I was like looking at the scale every single week, and I was like running, I was doing so many exercises, and I just couldn't lose the weight. And I was like, what is going on? And the reason I couldn't lose the weight is because I've mentally told myself I must lose weight, I must lose weight. The time where I stopped thinking about it. I said, you know what, I'm done. I can't be bothered. I'm just going to live my life. That moment was when people started saying to me, Victoria, oh my God, you've lost weight. Oh my God, you've lost weight. Because I didn't let that consume me. So it's also very important to not let your goals consume you, because then that can add a layer of stress. And if we all go into the science, we all know about cortisol, which, can cause elevation of cortisol can actually cause weight gain. So it's really important to, when you're doing these goals, if you don't achieve them necessarily at this stage, to continue to encourage yourself and just um, continue to strive towards what you're trying to do, but also find an alternative route in doing that as well. So yeah, it's always good to check in on your goals as well. Like, is it realistic? And I think it's very important to note that. Is my goals realistic? If it's not realistic, I can change the goals at any time. That you're not bound to goals. So that's what I would say. I hope that answered your question.
Thank you so much. It really did. Thank you.
Any other questions, or anyone want to add to what I've just mentioned? Anyone want to just add to what Busayo asked as well? I mean, yeah, is there anyone that wants to add, or is everyone okay? I guess everyone's okay. So let's move on to the next. I'm just cautious about time. Okay, purpose-driven goals. So align your goals with your purpose. So we've established that. And this is an example. If your purpose is to empower others, set a goal to host a support circle. So for example, I know that there's some people that um I'll give you a brief example. There's some people that, once they've given birth, they feel isolated and they feel like, oh, I'm all alone, but I really want to build community. I really want to have a community of friends that all have children as well. So an example is to maybe say, you know what, I'm going to host a mum, a mum's day out or something, and go on Instagram. Now that we have social media, we can go on social media and promote. That could be a really great idea. Mum's Fun Day, where you take your children and yourselves to, like, I don't know, somewhere where your children can play, interact. And that will make you feel really positive. And even if there's only two of you, you can start from there, and then later on it will build. It will continue to build. And I think Loretta mentioned something about consistency. The key to life is keeping consistent. Once you get those goals and you set them, try to be consistent with them. Yes, you can, alter them and change them slightly, but try to keep consistent. And if you find that you're not achieving or meeting those goals, you can extend the deadline or the timelines, or figure ways to try and maneuver so that the goals aligns with the timelines that you set. So another exercise for everybody. So I'm going to give everyone about 2 minutes because I know the time is going. So this exercise is to set one SMART goal that connects to your purpose map. So we know we've just spoken about so many different things that we all like to do, and we've gone through that whole cycle. I want everyone to basically just create one SMART goal today that you would like to work on after this meeting? So it could be losing weight, it could be being more active in social media, it could be meeting up with your friends a little bit more. These are just some ideas. If I can give you all 1 minute to, well, it probably takes about 2 minutes, 2 minutes to write a SMART goal. So the SMART goal, I'm going to go back so that we can see what that looks like. Be specific, have a measurable timeline, have an achievable timeline, a relevant timeline, and make sure it's time bound. Yeah, so I'm going to give everyone 2 minutes and then I'm going to ask for some volunteers to give us an example of their goals. And I'm just going to leave this slide up so that everyone can see how it works with SMART goals.
My dream was too big for a cubicle. Adobe Express makes it easy to create.
Okay, so I would like some examples of SMART goals, please. So if I can just get 3 examples, that would be great. So who would like to volunteer themselves? Anyone in the chat that would like to create let me know the SMART goal that you created, please. So Lanre, do you have any SMART goals that you would like to share?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Hello?
No, no.
No SMART goals. So there's nothing that you would like to do in the next couple weeks or months.
Not at the moment. I couldn't think of anything.
Okay. Well, I can give you an example of one. So a SMART goal could be, obviously you're part of the social media specialist. So one goal for you
Mm.
could be to try and post 3 times a week. That's a goal. So that you can get maybe have 20 posts within a month. So that's a lovely goal that you could set, and you could say, I want to post this amount of content, I want to post this content, etc. So that is probably a nice goal for you to look into. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Aderemi said, my smart goal will be how to win souls for the kingdom of God. Yes, we love that. And how would you do that? How would you try and win souls? Because we've established what you want to do, but how are you going to do it? And then Busayo said to have a better work-life balance. So Busayo, what does that look like? How are you going to achieve this? And how are we going to measure this as well?
So I do apologize, I've got a sore throat. So I think that was my goal. So in terms of measurable, I just said on the weekends, it's just planning out just being intentional about spending time with family and friends. So out of is it like the 4 weekends, at least have 1 or 2 weekends where you intentionally set time aside and spend that time with people.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So in that situation, how are you going to plan that out? So let's say we've got the month of June. How are you
Mhm.
going to make it that you plan and schedule in time for those people?
So it's just setting specific dates. So I don't know, like the first week in June and the
Mm,
third week in June, and making sure whether there's an event happening or just calling up people and saying, look, I want to meet up, let's do something. So I think it's just doing that and
yeah,
putting it in the diary and making sure it actually happens.
yeah. So that's really good because you're basically letting us know that you're going to do it by making sure that you set dates and weekends that
Mhm.
you're going to make sure that they're free. You're going to communicate with your friends and your family to let them know these are the dates that I'm free. And you are going to I forgot the last bit, but yeah, so you've literally given examples of what you're going to do. You've told us what you want to do and how you're going to do it. And then a good thing to do is do timelines. So within the next 6 months, let's see how many times a month you can achieve going out with your friends and what that looks like. And even if, you said twice a month, even if it's only once a month, then you should be proud of yourself to say, yes, I've made it. And I'm telling you, your friends will be so grateful for you as well, because I know in this day and age, everyone's so busy. So yeah, that's a good one. Loretta
Perfect.
said, become more familiar with AI, identify platforms that are best suited to my needs, more specifically, and settle on one within the next month that I would like to investigate further. See, that's a very good goal as well, very smart goal, because you've identified the area where you need to work on. So you've identified that you want to be more familiar with AI, and you've thought through how you're going to be able to do that. So that's investigating different platforms. And then within the next few months, you're going to establish one platform that you really want to understand more in greater detail. So that's really good goals. Thank you. I'm going to move on quickly because I know time is running ahead of us. So thank you. Okay. We've already shared and stuff. So other goal setting methods. So we're
And
going to, sorry,
I said I will increase my evangelism. That's
okay.
Aderemi.
Oh, yes, I can see that. Sorry, ma. So increasing your evangelism. So now what we want to do is, okay, so how are you going to increase your evangelism? How many times a week are you planning to go to evangelize? Where are you going to evangelize? So those are the things that you need to start thinking. So how many days a week already do you evangelize? So let's say you only evangelize once a week. How many? So
Twice a week. Twice a week.
so you
Because
already
I preach on Facebook on Sundays and Tuesdays.
okay. So you already do twice a week. So how many more evangelism days do you want to spend on evangelizing? So how many more days do you want to spend? 2 more days?
Yeah, 1 or 2 more days.
So now we need to think of, okay, you want to spend 2 more days. So how does that look like with all the other things that you're doing? And how can we fit that in and where can we fit that in?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
That's it.
so that's really good. Thank you, Ma. So
All right.
The other methods, so we spoke about SMART goals. So there are other methods. So you don't have to use the SMART goal. I think the SMART goal is the most accessible to everyone and is the most culturally used now. But we also have the ROOP method. So this is wish, outcome, obstacle, plan. So what do you wish to do? What do you desire to do? What would be the outcome? And what are the obstacles? So it's like thinking ahead. What are the potential obstacles that you can face? So one thing that Messiah mentioned earlier was, what if you get to a place where you set a goal for weight loss, you get to a place where you're no longer losing weight. We all have to look at that. So, and then how can we plan ahead to make sure that when we do have those obstacles, what can we do? And these tend to be personal development and overcoming mental blocks. So when you have a mental block and you think, oh, I don't want to do anything, I'm stuck, I just can't be bothered with work, can't be bothered with anybody, you can start looking at using the ROOP method. Then we have the OKRS method, objectives and key results. So what you want to achieve. And then the key result is measurable milestones to track progress. So another thing that I may want to achieve is eating healthy. Now, this is something I struggle with, like I mentioned already. So how am I going to do that? And how do I measure those progress? So if I cook once a week a healthy meal, I'll be like, tick. I use a tick box exercise. So I use my OneNote. For those people who have iPhone, I have a OneNote and I literally record every single thing that I'm doing on my goals. And sometimes I also use the book as well. So it just depends. And once again, this is best for the, bigger teams or organization goal setting. So for example, as the CTV Foundation, one of our goals is to make sure we are able to give access to people that need it at a wider scale. So how are we going to achieve that? And what does that look like? Vision-based goals. So this is for our creative people. So we have Lola, who is creative, and also I do them as well. So this is that vision board. So you start with your life vision or big dream, then break it down into goals. So what's the biggest thing that you want to accomplish? I would love to get a house, a big house. Okay, how am I going to accomplish that? I want a 5-bedroom house. Okay, what does that look like? I'm going to have to work more. I'm going to have to find multiple streams of income. So this is where vision-based goals come in. More creative, long-term goals. And then habit stacking goals. So attach a new goal to an existing goal or existing habit. So the perfect example is here. After I brush my teeth, I will do 10 squats. So the aim is to brush teeth, but we're trying to do exercise at the same time. So we're going to add the two together so that we make sure we do it, Or one thing that I've been doing is obviously as a life coach, I'm certified life coach, but I'm having to train. So I've got like another 2 big modules that I have to do. So I've done one which allows me to qualify, but I also want to expand my knowledge. So what I do is I do walks, and when I'm doing my walks, I'm listening to the what's it called? To the training as I'm walking. So I'm beating 2 birds with one stone. Another thing that I do as well is what you call prayer walks. So I sometimes, I want to be closer to God. So what I say is, okay, let me pray and walk at the same time as well. So that is what habit stacking goals look like as well. So it's also a very good way to set goals. Settings to set goals. So this is like different environments. So the environment in which you set goals can influence your mindset and effectiveness. So personal journaling. So having a quiet place where you can self-reflect and set intentional goals. And this tends to be really good for introverts and self-paced thinkers. But I'm not an introvert, and I sometimes do personal journaling because it helps me really step back and think. So that is one way of obviously setting goals. Coaching sessions. So sessions like this, facilitated goal setting with accountability, best for individuals seeking clarity and support. So this is a great session to obviously start thinking about how to get your goals in and start actually activating the goal settings, Then we have group workshops. Once again, this is kind of both. It's hand to hand. It's well, the other one is actually more personal, I think, but it can be group. And then this one is more group, and this is what we're trying to do now. Collaborative space where you can brainstorm and refine your goals, best for shared learning and networking. We have digital tools and apps, so you can use apps to help you. So like I said, I use my phone. But there's different apps called Trivia, Notion, or Go Track apps. And this is best for those who are more visionary, people that like to see what they're doing. So, like I said, I use my notes in my phone, and I always used to like tick it off. I still do it now, and it makes me feel so satisfied, even though I may not have accomplished everything I want to do that day. But it makes me feel fulfilled to know that okay, I've done some of the things. So, yeah. Vision boards, once again, doing vision boards and being creative, and you can get pieces of papers, newspapers, take some, stick them on the vision board and have them up. And trust me, sometimes it really does work, because when you see something every single day, you're focused on that. And this is obviously best for those who are visual learners and dreamers. So when it comes to goals, I would recommend that weekly quick check-in on short-term progress, monthly adjust strategies, celebrate small wins, like I've mentioned, quarterly reflect on the broader progress and make pivots where needed, annually full review and goal realignment for the new year. So is the goal matching what I need to do? Is it what I still want to do? And I will always say set calendar reminders or use a digital platform to stay consistent. Sometimes you just need that pop-up to be like, today you need to do 10K. So one thing I've been doing actually is walking, and me and my friends are doing walking challenges to try and motivate each other. And I'm telling you, it's really working, because sometimes I'm like, I don't want to work today, but then I will see that someone's done 10K steps. I'm like, I have to go and do my 10K as well. So that's, an example of motivating yourself to hit those goals. So just to wrap up, so your journey starts today. Journal your thoughts, share with an accountability partner, and take the first steps. Before we close, is there any Q&A? Actually, before we get to Q&A, let me just go through the rest of the slides, and then we'll go to Q&A. I wanted to say the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. So make sure you do what you need to do. Start today. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't have negative thoughts. Don't have limited beliefs. Just do it. That's the first step. You might, it might not work out, but it's better to do it than not to do it. And then you always forever think about it. So just always do, if you have a vision, if you have a plan, just do it. Put yourself into it. And if it doesn't align with you anymore, it's fine. But you just don't want to regret not doing it. The next online session will be on the 7th of June, 2025, and this will be on limiting beliefs. And this is what your negative thoughts. And it's really good for you to probably come to that as well, so that you can really think about how your negative thoughts play a part on setting goals and accomplishing goals as well. So lastly, just so to continue to support, we would love for you to donate, continue to donate for this charity organization. We would like for you to share our mission. So let your friends know, your family know, your colleagues, everybody. You can also fundraise for us as well, maybe host events or start a birthday fundraiser. Tell your companies, if you all work for businesses or organizations, let your company know about us, so that maybe they may decide to gift us or sponsor us. Volunteer your time if you have time. I know everyone is so stretched out. So please, this is only if you have time. Attend our events. So thank you so much, everyone, for attending today. So thank you, and stay connected as well. So, follow our Instagram page, follow us, our website. I will link everything in the booklet that I will send later. But yeah, so every action helps us create a safe, empowered lives, and we just want to thank you for the support. So this is the CTV Foundation email address, and that is the website. So if you would like to go on, so thank you all for coming. I'm going to go back to the Q&A. So for those who need to leave, you can go, but for anyone who has questions or want to say anything, please feel free before we close.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Shade Babatunde. Yeah, I just want to say thank you to Victoria. That was a wonderful session, and I pray that the Lord God will continue to uphold, strengthen you, and enrich you with wisdom.
Amen.
And for those, I don't think there's anyone that joined this session, even if you came and you didn't really know, what your goals are or your vision and everything. Going through all this, I bet by now you should be thinking of, you should have something drop in your heart. And if there's none, I just want to encourage us. Yes, I know that you want to try and make it it's not really faith based, like that, but then it is faith based. And I want to connect it, what we have just done, to what we have in Habakkuk 2:2-3. Habakkuk 2:2-3. And I read, then the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain on tablets, that he may run who reads it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it will speak, and it will not lie. Though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So, to how will I put it? To know your plan and purpose of God for your life. First, you have to pray about it. If you don't know it, apart from all the things that Victoria has said, what do you like doing? What do people thank you for and everything? But if you ask God, pray about it, he will reveal it to you. And once he reveals it, it's tied to what Victoria told us also. You need to write it down. As we have read in Habakkuk 2:2-3. You write it down, you make it plain, you remind yourself about it, and in that way, you'll be able to run by it and ask God for strength, and he will help you. And also in accordance to that SMART goal. It's not only people in the UK, Victoria, that know about the SMART goal. I know about it, and I use it all the time. So it's important also. And tying all this together and putting it in God's hands, he will surely make it good. So thank you, Victoria, again. God bless you. And I'm looking forward to the next one.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone. Can I ask as well for everyone to please, before they leave, to put your email address so that I can send you the information booklet and all the tools that we used today, if that's okay. But yeah, thank you, everyone. Have a lovely day.
Thanks, Victoria. Your audience, I think they prefer. I think maybe it's the generation. They prefer more to type. They don't want to talk.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, but I'm sure everyone is happy for what you did. Okay, I'm saying it. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Victoria. What you can just unmute yourself and shout out to her. Thank you, Victoria. God bless you. They always they like typing.
Thank you, Victoria. God bless you.
That the old people they talk. All the other ones then they type.
Abi. Ayo.
We bless God. Thank you again, Victoria.
Thank you, Victoria. God bless you mightily.
Thank you. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Victoria. Daddy.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Always. Thank you.
Well done, Victoria. Well
Thank
done.
Olúwèjì
you.
nìkan lẹ rí mbẹ̀.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay, well done. Mommy there.
Thank you. Thank you for the God bless you, ma.
Yeah,
Bless
God bless
you,
you,
my
my
Eshe,
dear.
dear.
ma.
God bless
Mommy
you.
Alasende. Okay, Auntie Shade Babs.
Yeah. Well, what's it? So you want to put in the guitar while you
Mommy Babs. Balanle Agbaje, God bless you for joining. Yeah, thank you, ma.
God bless you. God bless you. Okay. Oh.
Baba Joe, waiting you dey talk. I greet you, ma. Okay, thank you, sir.
Well done, well done. Very good.
All right.
Yeah, okay
Take
then.
care. God bless you. Victoria, well done. Dapo has slept.
Mm.
Well done,